Hello and welcome to today's video. Now this is a little bit different from our typical talk about Overwatch things. We're talking about new map and a short, which is different. But we're talking about the new Busan map and the D.Va short that came out a couple hours ago. So I believe it was like 5 in the morning here, where I live, and it was like 2 on the West Coast and during the middle of the day in South Korea. But at some event, some Overwatch event in Korea, is where some of these things got announced. Now, it was a couple of months ago on the Korean Overwatch YouTube, Jeff Kaplan talked about some things that were coming to Overwatch that are related around Korea. Because obviously, esports in Korea is a really big thing. Overwatch is really big in Korea. So, just doing something for the fans in Korea. So, that's what they were going to do. Because there's not so much about the Korean part of the game. There's so many other characters and stories and things, but they really didn't do much that's made D.Va as a character. So, when it was announced they were doing things in the summer games came out, and D.Va got a new skin. And they put Busan Stadium in Lucio Ball, and I thought, well, that's it. That was a terrible event, right? And I'm like, not a terrible event, but I'm like, that's the whole thing you hyped up in the summer, was a D.Va skin and Busan Stadium for Lucio Ball. Okay. But at this event, once they were announcing in-game things and like a cinematic, I'm like, that could be something related, because I seen the thing, it was all in Korean, so I didn't really know what it said. But then there was another section, another tweet that I seen where it said it was being announced, or like that there was in-game things, and then the short was coming out. So I guess we'll talk about the short first. I thought it was really good. I thought it was the best short there was. And everybody thought the May one and the Reinhardt one were emotional. I didn't really think they were, but the D.Va one, that was emotional. I will admit. It was emotional to watch. So, yeah. But, as I'm sure everybody knows, D.Va's my favorite character. So maybe more personal thought on that. Because I like D.Va a lot. I got a water bottle that's D.Va. We got my wallet that's D.Va. And, of course, as everybody knows, we got the D.Va hoodie. Yeah. So, favorite character. So, for me, I was really excited about it, but it was definitely emotional. But I think it was very good. It was very well made. And I like the story about it. How she came back and was, after fighting the Omnics, and then she's like trying to fix her mech, and there's another one that shows up and she takes him out, and then she has to like destroy the other one, and she falls into the water, and then she has her leg messed up because she fell in the water after blowing the thing out. But I read some of the comments on YouTube, and it's very interesting. People were like, the government in the game, the Korean government, and the made up story of the game tries to like protect D.Va and not say that she had any problem, unless she was fine. So I thought that was interesting that somebody pointed that out. But to the point of like being the celebrity and everybody's like, oh, nothing happened to her, she's okay, because everybody just loves D.Va so much. And it was cool to see it sort of like the way that she was portrayed as such a celebrity in Korea, to like the level of those events that they showed in the beginning, things that she would do, similar to like the K-pop stars and things like that, which she's sort of based off of. They sort of took that idea in the game. That's why her name is spelt the way it is. They sort of tried to take a K-pop approach to the character. So I thought it was pretty cool how they sort of showed it in there and how she was just all over everything. So I thought that was cool. But it's a great short. But it was emotional, I will say that. Now, on to the new map, which I think that is also cool that they took Busan and used it for a lot of the stuff. Busan Stadium, D.Va being from Busan. That's where a lot of the defense area is, and that obviously it's the map that they pick. Instead of picking Seoul, which is more of the known city, the more international city from Korea, I think it's cool they picked Busan because it fits the story that the Omnics come out of the sea to attack the country, where they're going to attack probably the bottom part of Korea, where Busan is, more than attacking Seoul, because they have to go inland, and it's further up. Yeah. Because Seoul's, like, on the side, on the left side, further up, pretty close to, like, the border between North and South Korea. It's pretty close to there. I think it's like 60 miles. So, it doesn't really make as much sense, because it's inland and far up. So it's super inland, but you get the point. It's not on the coast. So, to have the Omnics come up and attack a city, they're more likely to attack Busan. I think it's cool that they picked a city that wasn't the as-known city. But, either way, Busan map, it says that they have 3 areas, because it's a control map. Because I also thought there's probably going to be a control map the next one. I know I told the meme this. We're talking about maps. I'm like, since I've played Overwatch, there hasn't been a control map that came out. They've done a payload. Well, they did an escort, which was Rialto. They did a payload, which was Junkertown. They did a control map, Horizon Lunar Colony. They had Hybrid, which is Blizzard World. But they never did... did I say Control's Horizon? Assault map was Horizon. So they never had a control map since I played. And I think the only one that came out is Oasis. So... it'll also be cool because it's another tiebreaker map for the Overwatch League. But, the map, let's see. So it says there's a sanctuary area that allows players to fight in a traditional Korean temple, which has a large garden. In the downtown area, heart of Busan's modern city, there's like a whole PC area to play because they have a lot of those in Korea. You just go play games. There's a karaoke bar and a train station, complete with a train, and apparently you can get hit by that train. So it's similar to Oasis, where you can get hit by the cars that go by. And then it says the last one is the Mecha base, where D.Va and everybody else prepares to save the city from the Omnic threat. So, it says here how Jeff Kaplan explained that they went the extra step to make sure that the map really felt like Busan. They had the sound team that spent hours recording various sounds of the city, finding musicians who could play traditional Korean instruments. It says the goal is to give Busan a map that mix of traditional and modern sounds that help make up the identity of the real city. And I feel like that's really what's something interesting about Korea and other countries in Asia, but specifically for me, Korea, is the fact that they have such, like, modern things mixed in with so many, like, old traditional things that were, like, 1,000 years old. Because that's not really something that in America is really that much of a thing. Because America's only been a country for a couple hundred years. And only been, like... really, like, the way that the people that came to America from Europe, it hasn't really been that long compared to people... Now, I'm not saying people didn't live in America, because there's people here, but they didn't really have, like, old buildings that really would stay. You know, the Native Americans didn't really build buildings in America that just lasted. They built, like, little tents. So, that's what I'm getting at. They don't really have a mix of that type of thing. And I feel like it's really, like, present in, like, Korea. Like, seeing the old temples in the middle of the city and, like, crazy high-tech buildings. I know in, like, Seoul, they have one of the... there used to be, like, an old barrier around the city. And there's still, like, part of it at the entrance of the city. It's so cool. And it's so... Even if it's such an old thing, it's still there. Where that's not really something that's so much in America. You know, there could be old houses from, like, 16, 1700, something like that. They're Pokestops. But that's about it. I mean, there's no really, like, things like that. And I feel like in Europe, there's less of that necessarily. So I feel like in Asia, there's just a perfect mix of it, and it's so cool. So I think it's cool they also took that in the game. And I mean, it's something you could see in, like, Hanamura on that map, too. And on Lijiang Tower, being Japan and China. Both those two maps, you can see how they have the traditional things, the traditional old style things, and the new buildings. Because, I mean, you look at Hanamura, the first point, you're going into a old temple area, but there's, like, some restaurants and lights and things everywhere before you enter that area. In Lijiang Tower, you fight in the big pagoda thing for one, but then you go into a big control center for another one. So I think that that's very cool how they've implemented that in the game, and of course it's something they're going to continue here with Busan, with the sanctuary, which is the Korean temple, and then downtown, where it's at the modern city. And then, of course, the mecha base, which is for the game, to go with the story. So I think it's very cool that they sort of took all that stuff and put it into the game. I'm very excited to play the new Busan map. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's definitely my favorite map in the game, and I think it's cool that they did do a lot of stuff for Korea that wasn't in the game, because such a popular basis of fans there. And I mean, most of the best players in the Overwatch League are from Korea, and Korea is the only country that's won the Overwatch World Cup. So doing something like that is cool, because they don't have to do anything for America, which I'm sure is the other place that Overwatch is the most popular in the world, because there's already, like, how many maps are in America? Is there one, or I think there's 3, because Blizzard World's a made-up map, but it's still located in America. Hollywood, Route 66. Is there another one? I don't know. But they have so many things. They got a couple maps, a couple characters, a lot of story, a lot of Overwatch League teams, and then you have Korea, which is, the game's really popular there, and you have a character and a Lucio Ball map. So, and one Overwatch League team. So, getting a map and a short, I think is really cool. So, that is that. I hope everybody enjoyed today's video. A little bit different from what we normally talk about. Like I said, normally we just talk about Overwatch League or Overwatch World Cup when we do these Overwatch videos, but it was Korea. I had to do it. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to play it. It should probably come out in September, because I believe that's when Junkertown came out. So, sticking with that, I think it's very cool. Going with the pattern that they stick with events coming out, because I believe Junkertown did come out in September after Summer Games, so it makes sense. Yeah, because they went character, Summer Games, map, Halloween, character, event. So, yeah. No, actually, wasn't a map January? Yeah, map was January. Blizzard World was January. Alright, so, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back with playing Busan. I was going to say Busan Stadium, but playing in Busan later in September. I'm very excited about it. Yeah.